Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. In today's video tutorial, we want to talk about WordPress 5.0 that's coming out soon. Most notably, they have a new editor that's going to be used for your pages and posts, and this is probably the biggest change ever to come to WordPress. This is currently available as a plugin, but soon it's going to be joining the core of WordPress. So it's called Gutenberg, and again, right now you can install it on WordPress as a plugin and kind of test drive it, or you can keep the standard editor for now. Now, once WordPress comes to 5.0, I believe it's going to be a manual update only. I don't believe it's going to automatically update your WordPress, so don't freak out, thinking that your editor is going to change overnight. But this is a really big change, and I know there's a lot of feedback across the WordPress community, and I've got my own personal opinion about it, but I want to show you what it is and how it's going to be changing. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are undecided. Me personally, I don't really think it's a good step forward for WordPress. I'm more of an old school person. I always have been. Being old school, I'm always more reluctant to change. Me personally, I didn't even like using WordPress until it really proved itself as a valuable CMS, a content management system. And so it took me a while to even warm up to WordPress as a whole. Now here at NameHero, I would say that 99% of our customers, they use WordPress in some capacity or another. So this upgrade is going to be affecting essentially all of our clients here at NameHero, as well as future clients, and we have thousands of resellers from across the world, so if you're a reseller watching this, it's likely it's going to affect your customers too. So let's first talk about the WordPress 5.0 core, and then I'm going to walk you through actually setting it up and showing you what it's about. So if you go to WordPress.org, you can just Google WordPress 5.0. It talks about the development cycle that's coming up, and they've been kind of putting the release off a little bit, so it's not moving as fast as it once was, but it's certainly coming now. I noticed this morning in the NameHero blogs WordPress, in the latest update, it talks about Gutenberg coming, and it gives you the option to install the Gutenberg plugin right from your main WordPress dashboard. So that's what we're going to do today. Is I'm going to provision a WordPress site that's not on 5.0 yet, and we're going to install the Gutenberg plugin so I can show you what it is like, and we'll talk about what the fuss is. So you can go here though to WordPress.org and kind of review all the changes and see everything that's coming. And I think they have places to comment on their forum and stuff, so you can add your input. So here's currently the Gutenberg plugin. This is WordPress.org/plugin/Gutenberg, Gutenberg. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but forgive me if I'm not. But this is where you would download the plugin. You can see that this has 80,000 installations. Last updated 4 days ago as of time of recording, and it's tested up to WordPress 4.9.8. So that's what we are on right now. So 5.0 is almost here, right? And you can see the ratings. There's not a lot of support for it. And, I think, me personally, when you're dealing with an update to the core of WordPress and you say it's coming into the core, you're going to have some negative feedback because people don't want something this big to be added into the core. And so that's where I'm kind of reluctant, because, what's this mean? What sites is this going to break? What plugins is this going to break? What themes are going to break? We're going to have to make sure that everything's updated together, because just a core copy of WordPress like I'm going to be using today uses the default theme, no plugins or anything like that. So we're not going to worry about breaking the site. But if you're going to be upgrading your current site, you have to make sure that everything's going to work with this, especially for those that have custom templates, custom themes, custom plugins, social sharing plugins. We have to make sure that those developers have also updated accordingly. So this is going to be a big change to WordPress. And again, it's going to be something that's not going to happen really overnight. I mean, of course, you can update your WordPress overnight, but I think it's one of those things that's going to kind of move along with the times. So that's the plugin, and I'm going to show you how to install it here as well, and we'll get through that. They have a page on their site here that shows you kind of how the new editor works. So we'll cover this as well too. This is a kind of a live interactive demo. So we'll talk about this, and we'll also talk about the plugin. So let's head back over here to the main site and talk about signing up for a package. We'll get signed up with the package, get the site live, and get WordPress installed, and then we will do the plugin and take it from there. All right, so we're going to start here on the main page of NameHero, and you can see we have this fancy new cookie warning. This is in regards to the new GDPR privacy stuff, that we use cookies to personalize the website for your experience and to make a better browsing experience. think the notice is kind of silly, but my lawyers tell me we have to have it. So if you consent, just put I consent. There's a lot of sites out there that still don't have that, and they're still using cookies. So I don't get it. But anyways, maybe they have a different legal team than I do. Anyway, so this is NameHero. And if you're not familiar with us here at NameHero, we specialize in high-speed cloud web hosting. We've optimized our platform for content management systems such as WordPress, but you're not just limited to WordPress. And with this WordPress 5.0 update, many of you probably are going to be happy to hear that, because you might, and I hate to say this, a lot of people might be leaving WordPress because of this new update, and some people might adapt with it. I think some of the newer users out there, the beginners of WordPress, they're going to really like this. I think some of the more old school people like me, they're going to still like the standard way of adding posts and pages to WordPress. So it really just depends on your preference. And again, that's the purpose of this video, is to demonstrate this so you can see what you think about it, and then kind of go from there. So what I want to do now is sign up for a basic web hosting package with us here at NameHero, so I can walk you through from really start to finish. So I'm going to click here on Freaky Fast Web Hosting, get started now. And here we have our 4 main packages. These packages are suitable for most customers that come into NameHero. You can start off with our starter cloud and goes all the way up to our business cloud. The main difference between these packages is the number of visitors that you have to your site, because the business cloud has a lot more RAM and CPU cores versus the starter cloud, which means you can have more visitors. This also determines how many websites you can host on this. Our starter allows you to host 1 website, and the business cloud allows you to host unlimited websites. So, most of you are going to be hosting 1, maybe 2 websites. That's what we see in an account. It really doesn't, if you're going to be hosting any more than, say, 20 sites, you probably need a reseller account, because it'd probably provide you with more resources and be easier. But most of our customers, they really go in the middle here. The Plus Cloud and the Turbo Cloud are the 2 most popular packages we have. The Starter Cloud is really good for startups and developers that are just getting started. Maybe your business isn't even live yet, and so you don't want to spend a bunch of money on hosting just as you're building your site. And then as you get off the ground, you can move on up here. Sites that come in that are already active, depending on 25,000 visitors a month or 50,000 visitors a month, they normally pick one of the 2. If they're bigger than that, then they'll head into the business cloud. It's important to note that our Turbo and Business, you can order these monthly, pay month by month. The Starter and the Plus, it's yearly onward and upward from there. So because these are such small amount packages, the best discount and stuff is going for a year and more. And then, of course, these 2 you can get monthly. So that's the main differences between these packages. Today, I'm going to start off with the Plus Cloud. Now, the cool thing about us here at NameHero is we are on the cloud. So if you sign up for Plus and decide maybe a day or a week later that you want the Turbo, you can upgrade right inside of our interface, and you immediately have access to these new resources. So this is also good if your website goes viral, with social media nowadays, Facebook, Twitter. If you have a link that goes viral and you get a ton of visitors to your site, you can upgrade at any time to take advantage of these additional CPU cores and RAM. So you don't have to worry about a migration or anything like that. It's on the cloud. It'll just scale up, and you can do everything from inside of our interface. But if you want, you can always reach out to our sales team, and they will help you out. But that's also cool too. Anything you pay at NameHero can always be applied. So even though you have a Plus package, if you want to go to a Turbo, you'll take into account what you've already paid and then just give you the difference to pay. So you never lose money at NameHero. You can always add to your hosting package, and the amount you've already paid can be applied to it. So definitely a huge benefit that our customers like. So I'm just going to select the Plus package here by selecting it. You have 3 options here: register a new domain, transfer your existing domain. This is, say your domain might be registered at GoDaddy and you want to bring it to NameHero for your site. You could do that here. You just enter the domain here, click transfer, and follow the directions, and it will walk you through that. Now for me, I already have my domain in my NameHero panel, so I'm going to use option 3, that I'll use my existing domain and update my name servers. So today I'm going to be using keydiets.com. I'm going to click use. So this means I'm going to be responsible for updating my name server. So I'll show you how to do that here. It's very simple. So now we're just going to configure everything. We can see I'm going with the Plus Cloud. I can host up to 6 websites, unlimited storage, unmetered bandwidth, 2 CPU cores, 2 gigabytes of RAM. I got Lightspeed Cache, Cloudflare, and free SSL. Free SSL is another huge feature right now. Google Chrome will now show not secure if your website does not have SSL. So I know GoDaddy, for example, they just started this huge marketing campaign about this, and they're selling SSL certificates. I think they start around 70 a year and go on up from there. We're not going to sell you an SSL certificate here. It comes free and automatic with your hosting account. So that's another big benefit to using us here at NameHero. Not only do you get the high-speed cloud of SSD drives protected by RAID 10, you also get the SSL certificates, and that's for all of your websites. So now I just got to choose my billing cycle. As I mentioned, this package is not available monthly. It's at least 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. You can see the longer you decide to sign up with, the better the price. At NameHero, we reward customers for the longevity. We feel like it's just simpler. I cannot tell you how many times that it happens in a month that we see a month-by-month customer, and let's say their credit card expires or they're on vacation, and then their invoice goes for a month or two before they realize it. And well, by that point, their site's been suspended. They're offline. If it goes too long, then it's terminated. And that creates so many problems. So that's why I recommend going for the longest term possible. So you only have to worry about this payment once every 3 years. I mean, why not? You're going to save money, worry about one payment. It just makes your life a lot simpler. I know people that, some people like to say, well, I just want to make month-to-month payments. Well, you're not only going to save, you don't have to worry about that monthly payment. It's just something I've been in the industry. I've been in this industry for 20 years, and I'm speaking on experience here. So I'm going to choose the longest possible package, 36 months to save. Drop my site backups. These are if you want off-site backups for your website. It's $1.99 a month for 5 gigabytes. So at NameHero, we provide free nightly backups, but this means we only retain 1 day's worth of data. If you want to retain up to 30 days worth of data, then you can add it on here. So if the 1 day option is good for you, then that's fine. But if you want to have up to 30 days of off-site backups, then choose at least 5 gigabytes here. Just like anything else at NameHero, you can upgrade this at any time. And for $1.99 a month, why not have that peace of mind that everything's being backed up for at least 30 days? Because what if you don't notice something's gone the next day, and then by the next day it's too late? So I recommend it, but it's up to you. Dedicated IP address. This is for the highest level of email deliverability. If you are using emails, if you plan on using emails with your hosting package, you want to click this. If you're going to use Gmail, or maybe you're using Yahoo or Hotmail or whatnot, don't worry about it. But if you want to use this for your business, I do recommend selecting that. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. So now we can see that we've got our checkout here. We can see with our current promotion here in the summer, you're going to save $150.95. It's one of those things. I can't promise when you watch this video it's going to be the summer. I can't promise the same savings. So, it's really up to you. When you see this, if you see this deal, great. But, we've had this issue in the past before. Is we'll record something, put it on YouTube, and then the special's not around. I can't promise the special will still be here when you get here. It might be something different, but it kind of is what it is. So now I'm going to proceed to the checkout and get all checked out and get my account online. And then I will resume this video, and we'll just kind of take things from there. All right, now my account is online. At NameHero, we strive for 10 for 10 customer support and customer satisfaction. If you're pleased with your experience so far, we have a brief little survey. Now, this is not required. If you do not want to answer right now, no problem. Just click the X at the top and you can get out of this. But if you have enjoyed your shopping experience so far, and also if this YouTube video has helped you, we certainly do appreciate all fives on this. It also gives you the ability to share your experience with potential new customers. If you're like me, you probably read reviews for everything you purchase. I can be sitting in the store buying something at, say, Walmart or Target, and I'm scanning the UPC with my Amazon app so I can read the reviews and also see if there's a better price than Amazon. So, kind of pay it forward. If, we helped you out and made it simple, share some kind words. We really do appreciate it. I say quite frequently to our staff here in the office, I like reading the comments and reviews from customers. It's probably my favorite thing in this entire business is watching us carry out our main goal, and that's to serve our customers with integrity and to really help you guys and gals out, because the web hosting industry, a lot's changed over recent years, and so we're really trying to restore faith in the whole industry. So we appreciate that. If you'll be so kind to leave your name, your email address automatically pipes in. It is not for marketing purposes. This is only to follow up about your comments. Again, if you don't want to leave anything, just click the X, no problem at all. Okay, so my order is complete. So I'm going to continue to my client area here and set up my domain so we can get WordPress set up and installed, and then we can talk about Gutenberg. So I'm going to click on Cloud Web Hosting, and I've got a couple different packages in this demo account, but the one I just signed up for was the keydiets.com one. So I'm going to click on it. And I need to update my name servers, because if you recall during the sign up, I chose option 3 that said I would edit my name servers myself. So I need to make sure my name servers are this where my domain is. So if I go to domains and my domains, my domain is in here, Key Diets. This takes a second to bring up. Now, if your domain's hosted at, or if your domain is registered at GoDaddy, Namecheap, or somewhere else, then you need to log in that interface and do this. I'm just going to click on Name Servers and make sure that it's NS23, which it is, and NS24. Just copy this over and paste it here, and then change name servers. Okay, now remember, anytime you change your name servers, it can take up to 24 hours to propagate across the internet. Before I started this video, I went ahead and did this one just so we would be good for our demonstration. So if your website's not live immediately, if you're not reflecting the changes you're making at NameHero, just give it up to 24 hours. Most of the time in the United States, this happens within the hour. Some locations a little bit longer than others. If you're one of our international customers, it depends on your ISP, could take a full 24 hours. I have seen it taken a full 48 hours, but that's very rare. Feel free to reach out to our team if you have any doubts on that. Okay, so now I want to go into cPanel and install WordPress. So I'm going to click here, log into cPanel. I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and you're going to see WordPress, because we have our automatic app installer. So this, you don't have to worry about downloading anything. You're going to install the latest version of WordPress with the click of a button. So again, right now WordPress is on 4.9.8. So we're getting really close to that 5.0 to where Gutenberg is going to be in the core. But right now it's not. So I'm going to show you how to install Gutenberg after we get WordPress installed. So I'm going to click Install Now. Now, for those of you that are just getting started, you can click Quick Install, and it just very, very simple install. A custom install gives you more options, or the quick install, which is what I recommend for those just getting started. Just use the quick install. The custom install, make sure that you're installing on HTTPS. So it's really up to you, but I recommend the quick install for just getting started. The big thing here that we want to change is the end directory. If I leave WP here, this means that WordPress is going to install on mydomain.com/WP. Well, I don't want it to install there. I want it to install as soon as you go to the site, I want you to see WordPress. So I'm going to delete WP and leave that blank. Site name, you can always change this later. So I'm going to leave it my blog, but you can edit it now if you want or change it later. Description, same thing. If you want to enable multi-site, which we do not. This is our admin account. Please don't use admin and pass. You'll get hacked. I mean, just the way it is. I don't know why they even put this in here. You need to use strong username and a strong password. I'm going to use rgray1. And I like to use a number and of course alphanumerical in this here. No special characters. And then for my password, I like to just click the lock, and it comes up with a real strong random one here. And I'll just copy this down. And you want to use your email address in case you would forget your password, which we see a lot of customers that happens to them. Make sure you enter a valid email address in here so you can retrieve that if you need to. I speak English. I'll leave it as English. There's a limit login attempt plugin. If you want to use that, go ahead. There's some other advanced options. I'm not going to check any of these, like auto upgrade. You can do that if you would like, but it's up to you. Since we're doing a demo, I'm just going to go on down this pretty quick. These are themes that are pre-installed and ready for you to use. So if you have a certain theme that you want to use for your business, you can kind of search through here. If you don't want to use the default WordPress, I'm just going to use the default one since we're going to be playing with the editor today. So I'm just going to use the basic one, but feel free to choose one. I'm going to click install, and it just takes about 3 seconds here to run through this. Boom, WordPress is installed. So now if I go to keydiets.com, well, for the one thing, you're going to see it's secure. The HTTPS, the secure certificate that comes free and automatic with NameHero, it's installed. We didn't have to do anything to get it to work. It just works. And so that's what we want to do here at NameHero, make it easy as possible for you to have SSL, because we do not want your site showing non-secure. So we've got a basic WordPress install. This is what it's looked like for over at least the last year, just very basic. Now, if we go into our admin area, this is where we're going to get a chance to install the Gutenberg editor. So now once we log in here, you can see they've got some new privacy stuff. That's the big thing in 2018. But right here, big old notice. A new modern publishing experience is coming soon. Take your words, media, and layout in new directions with Gutenberg, the WordPress editor we're currently building. So you can see this is going to go into the core. So they give you the option to install it now as a plugin or install the classic editor. So it says here, let's talk about the classic editor. The new editor will be enabled by default in the next major release of WordPress. If you're not sure how compatible your current themes and plugins are, we've got you covered. Install the classic editor plugin to keep using the same editor until you're ready to make the switch. So this is good. I'm glad they're doing this for everyone. If you're not ready to use this new editor, which I know here at NameHero on our blog, we've got a lot of different plugins and customizations we've made. We have to go through it and make sure it's going to be okay before we start using it. So you can click here and install the classic editor as a plugin. So I recommend doing that if you're not ready for the new editor, which I'm assuming 9 out of 10 of you probably aren't. You probably want to still have the classic editor. So again, that's just a plugin that you would install, and see, we can install both of them and you just activate one. So I'm going to install Gutenberg here, installing. You can see the classic editor is already installed, and we'll just give it a second. Installed. So now I've got them both, and if I go to post, add new post, you're going to see it's still the basic core, right? This is your basic editor that you're used to in WordPress. Now, if I go back over here and activate Gutenberg, this is where I'm going to see the change. Activated. If I go back to make a post and refresh it, whoa, things have changed. So you can see they've got a little tutorial here. They've got tips and stuff on how to do all this. I'm going to kind of walk through it, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So you can see our editor is quite different here. So this is a new post. So this is going to be my headline of the post. Now here's where the difference comes, is Gutenberg uses blocks. So if I just start typing, test paragraph, it's automatically adding the blocks for me. Look, if I hover over this, I can see the headline's a block, this is a block, this is a block. If I want to just add a new block, I can click add block, and I can make it an inline image, a paragraph, obviously an image, a heading, a gallery, a list, quote, audio, cover image file, and then there's some more common blocks, layout elements. I mean, there's all kinds of different options you can add. So basically, though, what the new editor is doing is it's making your posts, it's turning your new posts, your new pages into different blocks to better organize your content. So the thinking behind this is to make it simpler to add content inside of your posts and inside of your pages. The way the web is going, the way the internet's been moving is more towards this point and click, what you see is what you get type of stuff. And WordPress is trying to make that leap forward. And so where a lot of old school people like myself, we like the old editor, right? We like what we've used for the last 10 years. For the last 15 years, I've used WordPress for about 10. So the last decade, I've been familiar with that. That's how I've made thousands of blog posts through 7 different businesses. So this is a big jump. My personal opinion is I feel like it's really kind of dumbing down the editor, even though it's supposed to make it simpler. You can move stuff around. You can move these blocks up and down. You can see I just added a block, and you can, you can change this. We can make this a picture or just another paragraph here, or what have you. So there's all kinds of different options. Add gallery, add the headline. There's just, it's not horrible, but it's just different, right? And it's going to take some time to get used to. Anyone that uses WordPress, it's going to take some time. You can see up here at the top, this has changed a little bit too. It still auto saves. You can still preview. You can see how this previews in. Looks the same on the template itself. You can still publish. Are you ready to publish? Kind of an extra step there. If we go back to the blog, go back to the main page, you can see I've got the hello world. Now I've got my test post here. And that's how it's displaying, and kind of in that block format. If I click edit, I'm kind of back in here as well. I've got some new options here. The post format standard, this is the same. We saw this in the old editor. Stick to the front page. If you want to make this a sticky post, you can do that. Move it to the trash. Categories are still here. Tags, these features were still here before, the excerpt and tags. If you want to open for discussion stuff, but they just display differently. The big thing is just each paragraph is a block. So it looks a little bit redundant. One of our bloggers here at NameHero, he just recently reviewed this as well. If you head over to our blog, you can see his review. He said Gutenberg for WordPress is annoying as hell, and you might agree with him, you might not. It's it's really what you think about it, and he gives his opinion. So feel free to comment on there and share yours and read his post there. I'm not going to read his post in this video, but you can see what he says, that Page Builder's not an editor, and I tend to agree with that as well. That this feels more like a page. This feels something like a page builder than actually a content editing. So. There's a lot of people in the WordPress community that's very angry. Some people have added this and it broke their site. And so that's really what a lot of people are mad is if you add this plugin and it breaks your site, of course, you're not going to like it. So it's a change, and it's a big change that's coming, again, to the core of WordPress. So I do like the fact that if we go to installed plugins, we'll leave this, you can see the classic editor is still here. So if I activate it, I just want to see what happens if I keep both of them activated. So let's take a look. I didn't even check that. So if I activate the classic editor, it goes right back to the way it was. So I feel like a lot of people are still going to be doing this. So the change isn't happening overnight. Even when WordPress switches to the 5.0 core, you can be on WordPress 5.0. But you don't have to use the new Gutenberg editor. You can still use the old editor, and I'm sure they're going to keep this updated for some time while you get used to it, and as well as your plugins and themes get updated. Because I think that's one of the big things to this equation is not only do you have to become familiar with the new editor, but your plugins and themes have to be compatible with it. Because a lot of plugins and themes, they execute a lot of their code right here as you're making a post, or that's the way they display inside of your post. So you still have that option, which is really good. I know I've talked to a couple friends and colleagues in the WordPress industry, and some of them are leaving WordPress altogether. And I mentioned that at the beginning of this video, and it's important to talk about right now. When I started NameHero, a lot of people told me that I should create a hosting solution just for WordPress because WordPress was the most popular CMS out there and most used. I agree that WordPress is the most popular and used CMS system. As I said, 99% of our customers use WordPress in some capacity or another. However, I did not create NameHero to only serve WordPress. See, the good thing about web hosting and having a website is the flexibility and freedom of that. If we just had WordPress, then that's all you could use, right? If you want to move to another WordPress, another content management system different than WordPress, you can. And on the YouTube channel and on the blog, I'm going to be showing some of those because I know some people in the community are pissed at WordPress and they don't want to use it anymore, and they're going to be looking for alternatives. So I'm going to highlight some of the alternatives because some of our customers here on our cloud are using alternatives of WordPress, and to be quite honest with you, they're seeing some pretty freaking awesome page load times. I know I talked to one of my friends that is also a NameHero customer today, and he's using a different CMS now than WordPress because he didn't like Gutenberg. He didn't want to use it, and so he's starting to build his sites with something different, and the page load times are even better than it was with WordPress. So there's other options out there, and that's why at NameHero we never wanted to brand ourselves exclusively to WordPress, even though a lot of our customers do use it, and they'll still continue to use it. But at NameHero, your options are open. If you want to use a different CMS, no problem. Go right ahead. You have the flexibility. Our servers are optimized for WordPress as well as any other PHP or MySQL-based content management system. So, anything that's written in PHP is going to run fast here at NameHero, and you still have all the same advantages as before. The Lightspeed cache, the Lightspeed plugin, the Cloudflare, free SSL. So at NameHero, you're not stuck to just WordPress. If you look at this and say, I hate it, and I'm moving away from WordPress, so you do have that option. But there is several options. That's the great thing about that's a great thing to come out of the situation. Is if you want to upgrade, great. If not, then you can still have the old plugin and still use 5.0 because, of course, that you should keep WordPress updated no matter what because of the security patches and stuff that go in with that. So I definitely don't want you to use this as a reason not to update WordPress, but if you need to use the old editor, just install the old editor plugin. It's right there inside of the dashboard, and I'm sure they're going to leave this that notice on the front page for quite some time. It's dismissed now since I've installed it already. It looks like it's gone. I can't see it again, but I'm sure they're going to leave that notice on there to where you can install both for quite some time, as people can get used to it. If you're a reseller and you have customers, I'm sure your customers are going to have a lot of questions as well. So this is kind of a heads up video too. You can kind of give your customers about what's coming. If you manage the WordPress installation for them, maybe you can install the plugin and let them play with it, or maybe set up a staging area. Instagram. Search our YouTube channel. We show you exactly how to set up a staging area with one click. So maybe you want to do that for your customers as well as they get used to this new change. And as I said about the reviews, they're not glowing. I mean, 2.5 stars, that kind of sucks, right? I mean, it's still not the best. I mean, a lot of 1 stars. So, I'm sure the people at WordPress are listening. So if you don't like it, leave them feedback. Let them know. If you like it, let them know. It's up to you what you want to see. My personal opinion is I'm not a huge fan of it, but if that's the way it's going to be, then that's the way we will move forward. It's not the end of the world. There's been many things throughout my 20 years of working online that I have not liked, which I eventually came to like. WordPress being one of them. I didn't like WordPress in the beginning, but now I do. So anyways, feel free to let me know if you have any questions or comments. Leave them on this video. If you enjoyed this video, if this video helped you, really understand what Gutenberg is and the newest WordPress, I really do appreciate a thumbs up. I appreciate a subscription to our YouTube channel, and we'll be doing a lot more content on this, and as well as coaching and training on how to better you with your web hosting experience, how to make your website faster, and to work better for your visitors and your business. And so that's going to do this video tutorial. Thanks a bunch for watching and using NameHero.com.